All right, you've heard of physical fatigue, right? But what's adrenal fatigue?
I think it's controversial because they don't know jack shit about it.
Your doctor isn't going to be able to diagnose it and certainly won't be able to help you address it. But Dr. Maggie is the expert in this.
Well, I don't even know why the hell adrenal fatigue is quote unquote controversial. I think it's controversial because they don't know jack shit about it. We're going to be digging in, but I already can tell you the number one fact right now about adrenal fatigue, just right up front here, is that your doctors don't believe it's real. I mean, the biggest problem with adrenal fatigue is that your doctors have no training around why it's real. So that is problem number one. And the truth is, it is real. It's freaking real. And we're going to prove it. And yet, we have medical professionals, including myself, who've learned about adrenal fatigue and turned it around as part of our autoimmune recovery, sharing the secrets with you today.
Okay, so let's start talking about it then. Who is a hormone expert? And you mentioned your conventional doctor won't know anything about this, but do hormone experts know anything about this?
No, they do not. So this is the problem, everybody. So I want to explain what's happening in conventional medicine. So I'm going to blow the lid off this. This is secret. Okay. This is why they know nothing about this. So your conventional doctors and even your quote unquote adrenal specialist is your endocrinologist. Okay. They only know that the only problem with adrenals is all or nothing. So you're either crazy high in your adrenals and you have Cushing's, or you have no adrenals and that's called Addison's.
Um,
So either you're crazy ass high or crazy ass low. In the middle, you don't have a problem. Now we know it doesn't work for thyroid. We know it doesn't work for ovaries. Why the hell is that true for adrenals? That's not true for any other hormone making organ. And yet, conventional doctors will say, we have one test, and if you do this test, the only thing this test is designed to answer is, do you have all or nothing? It answers nothing about what's in between, nothing, zero information.
because
And
there's certainly an optimal range, right? I mean, if you don't have Addison's or Cushing's, but if you're somewhere on the spectrum outside of optimal, you've got problems that need addressing.
absolutely. And here's the problem is that about 100% of people with autoimmune disease have adrenal problems. Like this alumni, I have adrenal fatigue and hormones of a 75-year-old lady at the age of 50, alumni from 2018. And she's 2018. I love to find out 2022, 4 years after she's done the program, where are you with your adrenals and your hormones? Because not only can there be proper diagnosis, but there could be recovery and there's sustaining that recovery. The results is what I'm talking about. Okay. I don't work in woo woo. We're talking knowledge, knowing a clear strategy and path, proper mentorship, and sustained results. That's what we're talking about. So, yeah, the problem with that is that your hormone expert are not hormone experts at all. So then if your regular doctor, primary care doctor, and your endocrinologist, the hormone expert, adrenal expert don't know anything about it, where do you go? Well, then
Yeah.
people are then relegated to, I'm going to check my own hormones, or I'm going to try to find a naturopath or functional medicine doctor that knows how to test hormones.
Mhm.
Now, just because they could order these hormones doesn't mean they know what the hell to do with it.
Mm,
And we talked about this when we reviewed your results.
yeah.
Just because someone's a naturopath or a functional medicine doctor does not make them an adrenal hormone expert.
No.
I mean, what's your experience with your doctor with it? How much training did your functional doctor have around hormones or adrenals?
Well, first of all, she's never ever mentioned to me anything about adrenals. I've
Mm,
never heard this discussed ever before your program. So that number one off the bat should tell you
mhm,
something. She doesn't specialize in it at all.
mhm.
But secondly, she's tested my hormones in different ways many times, and we've never really been able to properly analyze what does it mean. Uh,
Yeah,
and she
yeah,
finally said to me, "I know there is something wrong with your hormones, but I'm not a hormone expert." And we need
right?
to find someone who is. And that is when I found you. But so many people are dealing with the same thing. And my doctor, at least, was honest about it. Some doctors, functional doctors, even are out there probably trying to tell them and act like they do know what's going on with hormones, but
Yeah.
yet are they getting the results?
Can I tell you guys something behind the scenes? I mean, truly, this is behind the scenes, all right? Because I watch young doctors and practitioners try to train to be functional medicine doctors. Okay, I've watched them go through these trainings, and I mean, I'm kind of appalled that you go through a 2.5 day seminar and suddenly you have a little dot next to your name that says I'm a functional doctor that has functional medicine hormone training, let's say, and they went through 3.5 days of training, and I see the training, and it's pretty appalling. But I do think a couple things. There are some functional doctors and naturopaths who are really good at hormones, but I can tell you how I got good at it. Okay. I got good at it because number one, I am an MD first. I was a practicing MD for 14, 15 years before I really got sick and got autoimmune disease, right? So that training and that experience really helpful for the medical side of it. So it's not just like I'm doing this, but I don't know anything about this. I know the hard science behind this. Number two is that I became sick with early menopause at the age of 36. Nobody could help me. Nobody could help me. So I had to figure out this hormonal piece myself. And then number three, I went through the next 15 years training, everything that I could get from the naturopathic functional medicine world, dealing with hormones. I was a hormone expert first before I'm an expert in autoimmunity. And I taught hormones, how to do hormones for the last 10 years to practitioners and to patients on how to actually understand. So that experience of helping thousands of people balance their hormones and then teaching it, has really helped cement the knowledge base here. And so you can possibly find somebody, but these sets of unique experiences is, I think, why I'm able to teach the things that no practitioner has been able to teach around hormones and adrenals.
I think you're exactly right. I mean, you touched on the fact that you were a medical doctor first, you specialized in hormones, but also, and very importantly, you dealt with your own battle with autoimmune illness.
Yeah.
And that set you on the path to really blaze a trail to figure out what was going on and to find all of the key factors that were contributing to fueling autoimmunity. And this is one of them.
I don't know how many times on the mastermind calls, and you've heard me because you're going through the program right now, where I'm like, pay attention. You're never going to hear this again.
Right.
This will be the only time you ever hear this. And this insight was earned the hard way by me. Don't take the hard way. Just listen to me, learn this. It's going to save your ass. And I say this over and over again.
It's true. It's true. I tell you a funny story. My
Yeah.
husband, of course, listens in on some of the programs that I'm watching, some of the modules with you. And we did a count one day of how many times we heard, "No doctor's ever going to tell you this." That you said that. No doctor is ever going to tell you this, but it's true. No doctor, and I've been through many, has ever told me those things that you are then telling us.
For everybody who's watching here who's interested in joining my hormone masterclass, I'm going to put a link right now in chat to my hormone masterclass. There's a link to message our team right now and say, I want to join my hormone masterclass. The time is now to book a call with our team. Okay. The biggest thing I hear from people when you do our interviews of our alumni, we always say, if you could turn back the clock, knowing what you know now, what's one thing you would change? And I would say universally, the most common answer we get is what?
I wish I would have met you sooner. I wish I would have done this sooner.
And I was like, I wish I had met me 20 years ago. And I didn't have to earn all this. If only I could.
I know. But yeah, again, you put in all of that hard work for everybody else. And you spent what decades, 16 plus years trying to figure this out. And now you can teach it to us though in 8 to 10 weeks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, do you want to learn it like over 15 years like I did and pay all the prices that I went through with it? Or do you want to learn it in 2 months?
Yeah. I mean, 2 months definitely sounds better, right?
Sooner is 1,000 times better.